Okay, listen up. If you're a bachelor and you want to know how to find that perfect woman, I've got one piece of advice for you that's more important than anything else, all right? Now, I'm married, only been married once, still married, happily married, but obviously it's not perfect. We're working on things. And I want to share you the one question that, when answered properly, told me everything I needed to know. All right? So now, this is coming from me. I had a list, all right? I had made my list of qualities that I was looking for. But there was one quality that was at the top of that list. And I was looking for a woman who was not just resigned to the fact that she was going to be a wife and a mother, but she was looking forward to the fact that she was going to be a wife and a mother. Now, what I found blew me out of the water, all right? But how did I go about, and very quickly, with one question, weeding out, or even a statement? It wasn't even always a quest, but just by saying one thing and watching their reaction, I was able to weed out women that just didn't hit that bar of looking forward to and being excited about being a mother and a wife. All right? And I would say this one thing with a straight face. I would say, I want to have 12 kids. In some form or another. Sometimes other people would bring it up before I had a chance. Friends. At the time, this was a joke. Okay? At the time. So there's a caveat. I'm going to give you a warning. At the time, I would say this, and I was joking. I did it for a laugh. And it was great. It was great. But to watch a woman's face when I was in my 20s, watch a woman's face when you say you want to have 12 kids. Because instantly, it's just like if I tell you, don't think of an elephant. If you as a man in front of a woman say, I want to have 12 kids, instantly their mind goes to the place of what would it look like for me to have 12 kids? Instantly. And you get an instant reaction. because again, it's not something they hear all the time, right? So it instantly interacts with their subconscious mind, and their subconscious mind is throwing up some kind of triggered reaction of usually their eyes get really big, that's too many. Again, something that was culturally normal 100 plus years ago. 12 kids, that was no big thing. And nowadays you can just get an instant reaction. And then you can play with that reaction and you can gauge it, right? Because at the time, I wanted to have a large family. I didn't want to have 1 or 2 kids. 3 was too little. I was 6 and above was my number. But I went high, right? Because again, it was a test, and it was fun, and it created conversations around that, and it even helped me not to waste time when either she was like, oh, I'm not going to talk to him because she didn't even want to consider it, having a large family. Well, I only want 1 or 2. So, yeah, guys, listen. When you're dating, and all right, yeah. So I am religious. But this can apply. You could say you want to have 6 kids, and it could have the same effect. The point is, you want to say something that is extraordinarily out of the realm of what what a modern woman would think in your circumstances, in her circumstances, in your circle, your community, would be out of this world, way too much, outlandish. And then you just watch and observe. You'll see the emotions, you'll see the eyes, you'll see the body language. The blood might drain from her face as her eyes get big. And the funny thing is, my wife beat me to the punch. And here's the danger, or at least my warning. You say something often enough, and you just might find it. I have 10 kids at the moment, not 12, but we're well on our way. Because when my wife, she beat me to the punch, and she said on our first date, yeah, I want to have 10 kids. I want to have 12 kids. I was the one who, in my chair, I was sitting down at the time, but I took a step back mentally, and I was shocked because I'd never heard that before. No, girls that said they wanted to have a large family, but didn't necessarily have a number to it. That wasn't too uncommon. But she said 12. She beat me to my own punch. And it's a long story, but that's something to be aware of. Is if you say something, even if it's in joke and in jest, if you say something too often, it just might become true. So be aware.